Scooby-Doo, a long-running franchise of the Hanna-Barbera Company, about a group of meddling kids and their talking dog named Scooby-Doo, who solve many mysteries along their travels in the Mystery Machine. The franchise has had a multitude of iterations of the show, some that are good, some that are bad, and then there's Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get a clue. A few movie adaptations, some in theaters, and a buttload that are straight to video, but did you know that Scooby-Doo... Oh wait, I almost forgot! Courage the Cowardly Dog is a comedy horror series that aired on Cartoon Network about a pink dog named Courage, who lives with Muriel and Eustace Bag in the middle of nowhere. And when creepy stuff happens in nowhere, it's up to Courage to save his home, whether he wants to or not.
The things I do for love!
The show ran from 1999 to 2002, with a total of 52 episodes, all animated by Stretch Films. A reboot was also potentially planned, but with no success. So what do Courage and Scooby-Doo have in common? Well, besides that they're talking dogs afraid of the supernatural, well, did you know that Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog had a crossover? Let's talk about it. Before we get to the big part of the video everyone's been waiting for, I want to let you guys know this isn't the first time Scooby-Doo and Courage have met before. They actually have met in the past in small advertisement segments promoting the Scooby-Doo Courage the Cowardly Dog Scare-a-thon, a week-long promotion that aired on Cartoon Network on October 23rd to 26th in the year 2000, where fans decide at the end of the marathon whose show will air throughout the night. Obviously, Courage was the winner. Most of the segments are kind of lost media nowadays, but there are still a few clips of it left on YouTube. But now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for, and it literally came straight out of nowhere. Which is kind of funny, considering that's the title of this movie. Straight Out of Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Released on DVD this year on September 14th, and I'm reviewing it on Halloween. Of course, animated by the Warner Brothers animation team, the same one who always makes all the Scooby-Doo movies every year, and all those Hanna-Barbera WWE crossovers, one of which is also Scooby-Doo. Warner Brothers potentially gave us a crossover that we never knew we wanted, but we got, actually. With the story of Straight Outta Nowhere taking place in the middle of a mystery, and Scooby-Doo actually just runs off and finds himself in the middle of nowhere, and happens to run into Courage the Cowardly Dog. Apparently, monster cicadas are attacking the farm, and it's up to Mystery Inc., along with Courage, Eustace, and Muriel, to solve what's going on in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of funny that Warner Brothers gives us all these really weird crossovers over the years. Remember Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? That's a lot of ands in the title. And also what's really interesting about this is the fact that John Dilworth, the creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog, wasn't even involved with this project. Not only that, Martin Grabstein returns as the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog, which honestly is really nostalgic for me. Though Eustace this time is voiced by Jeff Bergman, who's also the voice of Bugs Bunny since 1990. He doesn't do a bad job, but honestly it doesn't feel the same. I still prefer Lionel Wilson's performance as Eustace. And I do kind of like Arthur Anderson, his was also okay, it just doesn't feel the same. But I will give Bergman credit that he actually did his best in this. And lastly, Muriel voiced by the late Thea White. I saved this one for last on account of, well, this was her last performance not as Muriel but in voice acting in general, as she recently passed in July 30th of 2021. And honestly, Muriel's like the best thing about this movie.
There's a horrible, ugly monster driving that truck!
Call him Eustace, dear.
As Muriel's character is always this person who finds positivity in almost any situation. In fact, there's actually a couple of scenes where Velma actually feels like she didn't know a certain situation, and Muriel actually cheers her up. That's actually really positive. You can kind of see her role played perfectly in this situation. Rest in peace, Thea White. You will be missed. Though surprisingly enough, that's not the only noteworthy information of Straight Outta Nowhere. Considering that this is a crossover between Courage and Scooby-Doo, it actually feels more like an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, with the elements of the mystery scene in Scooby-Doo, and it kind of blends pretty well, surprisingly. Though I will be going over some noteworthy problems of this movie, of course being non-spoiler as I can. Such as the fact that there are some scenes where Eustace kind of just disappears and reappears in certain situations, and the fact that Stretch Films wasn't really included in this production, the modern animation of Scooby-Doo and the classic style of Courage the Cowardly Dog is inconsistent and feels like it clashes too much. I mean, there are some moments where they actually work pretty well, and there are others that honestly don't, with either making Mystery Inc. or Courage stand out from time to time. And then there's the infamous rap music video by Eustace, and yeah, this is pure cringe. Now obviously I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but let's just say it's an interesting conclusion, even something this weird. Straight Outta Nowhere is a pretty good film on its own, but if you're a big Scooby-Doo fan and a Courage the Cowardly Dog fan, this is a film you must check out. Whether you're beginning the $15 DVD, no Blu-ray for some reason, or just watching it on Amazon Prime, it kind of brings out a lot of the nostalgia that was found in the original Courage the Cowardly Dog show, and adding Scooby-Doo to the formula surprisingly goes very well, like nacho cheese on pizza. It's weird at first, but you really enjoy the gooey cheese. Then again, that might be more of a me situation. Before we end this video, I want to talk about something major important. Another classic Cartoon Network show, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, gave a pitch to Cartoon Network to make a movie to either reboot or continue the franchise. Cartoon Network said no for some reason, even though they said yes to Courage the Cowardly Dog meeting Scooby-Doo. A very odd choice if you ask me. Considering now we live in this era of film where bringing back a lot of classic stuff is a good thing nowadays, depending on they can get the formula right. And the fact that Warner Brothers also brought back a Zombie Island sequel that was god-awful, I just don't understand what the people at Warner Brothers are thinking. I just wanted to throw that out there. And that does it with this Had a What segment on Scooby-Doo meeting Courage the Cowardly Dog. I actually like doing these This Had a What segments, and this might be the last one for the year, but I want to let you guys know, I actually want to talk about more types of media that a lot of people generally don't know about, and if you have something interesting to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and like and make sure to share around the internet. Thanks for watching, and happy Halloween, guys!